welcome back. This video tutorial is for students who are in Algebra 1 Goal 2. We're going to be looking at our third family of topics, which is getting us comfortable with solving a linear inequality that is a two-step problem. And once we're comfortable with those, we're going to move on to multi-step. So to start, let's scroll down a little bit. A good one to start with is this one. This is a DSA question, meaning you're going to see it on your tests. But something that's done to make it a little bit easier is because this is a two-step, we have a little bit of a hack. Now, according to the explanation, they would force you to plug in these numbers one by one into the equation, which, I mean, we can do it that way, but that's just so, just so tedious. What we're going to do instead is actually go through the effort of solving this first, and then we can use that as a hack to save ourselves some work. So the first thing we're going to do, we are going to add 4 and add 4 to both sides because this is a two-step, so we're going to be doing PEMDAS in reverse. PEMDAS in reverse. So once we add 4, this disappears. Negative 39 and positive 4. Those are different signs, which means we're subtracting. We're going to get 35. 39 is the bigger number, so that's the sign that dominates. Greater than or equal to 5u. Then we're going to divide by 5. Divide by 5. U is greater than or equal to negative 7. Now, I'm going to do a little bit of flipping around. I'm going to take these two things and I'm going to switch places so that I know what I'm looking for over here. What that means is I'm going to have U, and then since I'm flipping, and then the negative 7. So I need any number that is less than or equal to negative 7. So is negative 10 less than or equal to negative 7? Yes. Is 4 less than or equal to negative 7? No. Is negative 7 less than or equal to negative 7? Well, we have the or equal to, so that makes it a yes. 8, is that less than or equal to negative 7? No. And that is a lot easier than taking these and going through the math to do this for every single problem over and over. We'll go through one more example to make sure you're comfortable with this, and then we'll move on. So for this one, we're going to add 7, then add 7. That's negative 4v less than negative. Let's see here. Those are different signs, so we're subtracting. It'll be 28. All right. Next, we're going to divide by negative 4. Divide by negative 4. And here, a little bell should be going off in your head, and it should be ringing, saying, uh-oh, 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 because you're dividing by a negative number. What happens when you divide by a negative number? Your inequality flips. In this case, it becomes greater than. Double negative is a positive. 28 divided by 4 is 7. So now, since V is in the correct spot, you always want your letter on your left-hand side when you're doing these kinds of problems. Now we want to look. Is negative 7 greater than 7? No. Is negative 4 greater than 7? No. Is 7 greater than 7? No. And I say that because we don't have that illustrious or equal to underneath. 10. Is 10 greater than 7? Yes. So don't be surprised, ladies and gentlemen, when you're going through this where it's either going to be evenly distributed like it was on the left over here, or it might be unbalanced, or you might have nothing that is a solution. So don't be afraid when you see that as your possibilities. So first topic of the family, done. Next, solving a two-step linear inequality. That's this bunch right here. And this is exactly what you were doing in chapter 1. There shouldn't be anything really new here. The only thing that's different is the sign. So again, we're going to be doing PEMDAS in reverse, which means we're going to be looking for addition and subtraction first. So there's my positive 3. I undo a positive 3 with a minus, and a minus. 5x drops down, less than drops down. Negative, these are this, what is this? Negative 7 and negative 3. These are the same sign. Since they're the same sign, we add, and then the sign drops down. Divide, and then divide, so negative 2 less than x. And there's your answer. Or if you're being frisky, you can do x greater than negative 2, either or. Next one, over here, that's a negative 6, so we're going to undo that with addition. Undo that with addition. What are we left with? Those are opposite signs, so we're subtracting, so that's going to be 4 greater than 2x, and then divide by 2, x and then 2 is greater than x, or again, if you're feeling frisky, x is less than 2. All right, one more problem to make sure that you're comfortable with this. Oh no, miss. There's a fraction, the horror. Except in the last video, this was talked about in greater detail. So again, same old, PEMDAS in reverse. So we're gonna add 7, add 7. So what does that mean? X over 3. The greater than doesn't change. These are different signs, so we're subtracting. Then, since this is division, you undo division with multiplication. So times 3 times 3. 15 is greater than x, or x is less than 15. Ms. Dubois, when she was doing this back in the high school days, back in the dark ages when there were no computers, she always put x on the left-hand side to make things a little bit more comfortable. So one more done. Next, problem type 2. Now these ones start to get a little bit different, and I want to show you why. Here we go again. We're going to add 6, because this is PEMDAS in reverse. So plus 6, cross that out, negative 3v, and then we have greater than or equal to 9, and 6 is 15. And this is why it's problem type 2, specifically, because we're going to be dividing by negative 3. We're going to divide by negative 3. And what happens from the last video? What happens when you divide by a negative? The inequality flips. So 15 divided by negative 3 is negative 5. And instead of greater than or equal to, we're writing less than or equal to v. There we go. Or v is greater than or equal to negative 5. Either or. This one, same thing, only let's see here. Are those the same numbers? No. So minus 15, 3y is greater than or equal to 30 minus 15 is 15, divided by 3, y is greater than or equal to 5. So far so good. We haven't been challenged all that much. And then over here, plus 4, those are different signs, so that means it's going to be subtraction, which is 10, and then the bigger number is 14, so that's the sign that dominates. Divide by 5, w less than negative 2. So these topics, these first couple of topics, should actually be pretty comfortably in your wheelhouse. You know what you're doing, and you can already see what the next one is going to be. You see that little phrase that everybody loves, fractional coefficients. Yes, I hear you saying. But again, because it's PEMDAS in reverse, and because there's a handy little trick to take the fraction and break it into 2 steps, yet again, this becomes less painful and more straightforward. We're going to add 14 to one side, 14 to the other. Those are our opposite signs, so we are subtracting. 14 is the bigger number, so it's going to be positive. And then 5u over 9. Now, when I teach this, I'm going to break this into 2 steps. I'm going to multiply by 9 to get rid of the denominator, times 9. So that means 45 greater than or equal to 5u. And look, just doing that little thing, that's called clearing your fractions. Now we know how to do this from here, because we're going to divide by 5. 9 is greater than or equal to u. Next up, times 4, since we know what we're doing. Oh, no, wait. Nope, that did not happen. Ms. Dubois was misquoted. Did you see the mistake I just made? I just tried to get rid of this first, even though I wasn't ready for it, because I have this 3 right here. So be very careful. Always make sure you're going in order. Ms. Dubois was thoughtless, which means students can be thoughtless, and you want to be conscious of it. So plus 3. So negative 3v over 4 is greater than or equal to 10. Then what we were going to do first, by accident, times 4, all right? Negative 3v greater than or equal to 4t. Divide by negative 3, and again, a little bell goes off in your head because you divided by a negative. We're going to flip our inequality. So v becomes less than or equal to, now 40 over 3, that I know for a fact, I don't even need a calculator, that's not going to divide evenly. So what that means is part of this being a fractional coefficient is once in a while you're going to get a fraction as an answer. And if you know that coming in, then you can make yourself okay with it. one more problem to make sure we're all set, and then this family will be done. So, not repeating my mistake from before, this is going to be plus 4, negative 8u over 5, less than or equal to. So these are opposite signs, so we're going to subtract. 11 is the bigger number, that's the sign that dominates. So our answer is negative 7 times 5 times 5. Negative 8u less than or equal to negative 35. Divide by negative 8. Divide by negative 8. Uh-oh, I hear a bell going off because we're dividing by a negative number. So that means u is less than or equal to, double negative is a positive, and we'll just leave it as 35 over 8. So for fractional coefficients, you're either going to get a whole number for an answer, or you can get a fraction as an answer. And if you know that coming in, then you can make yourself okay with it. And then suddenly, look at all that math we did. All of our topics now for Family 3 are done. You have walkthroughs on what to expect for each of these. Next video is going to be for solving a multi-step inequality. As always, stay happy, stay healthy, stay safe. See you in the next one.